As you can see, my day-to-day looks a little bit different than it did a couple months ago. I still wake up and have coffee, I still eat breakfast with my family and get Jocelyn out of bed, but I look at the computer quite a bit, and I sit in front of a camera like this way more often than I ever anticipated in my life. It's been a pretty anxiety-ridden and crazy time. Not just for you, I know it's been wild for you, but for a lot of our students. This generation already struggles so heavily with anxiety. And so one of the things that we've been doing is we started a Purple Book Challenge. You can follow us at ENC_Lubbock on Instagram, and you can see the things that we've been doing. But it's 12 weeks. It takes a long time, but we have plenty of time right now. And we're building a foundation that will support them for their entire life. So we've been posting some of the questions and devotionals. We've been making videos, but ultimately connecting with students over social media, through Zoom calls, phone calls, text messaging, to establish them in biblical foundations. And what we've seen and what we're really excited about, Nick and I, him being back from the School of Ministry, is we know that this type of crazy time where there's a lot of pressure brings maturity. And in the students that we've had that have been faithful to be a part of ENC, there's been a desire even more to be equipped to share their faith, to be equipped to share their faith with their family back home, but also as we step back on campus in the fall. One thing that we can all agree on, as I've met with staff from all over our nation, is that we really believe that all of this is it is shaking the foundation of the lives of many, many students on the college campus. And whenever we meet back in the fall, we know that people are going to be ripe for hearing and receiving the gospel of grace. And so we're trying to equip our students as well as we can remotely to ready them to cast a wide net and believe that God will bring in a harvest like we've never seen, to bring in students and get them saved, healed, set free, and ready to be disciples, to reach their family and reach the students that are around them. And none of this is possible without you. And that's the main reason why I wanted to send this video to you today, is because I'm so grateful. I really am so grateful and thankful that you have continued to give and partner so that I can reach students and equip them, especially in this wild time. I have students whose parents have lost their jobs and students who have been largely unaffected, but it's been amazing to see the faithfulness of God to provide for Alyssa and I, to provide for Nick in a way that's, honestly, it seems like it's been supernatural. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of this. I was talking to my neighbor across the street a few days ago, and he was talking about him wanting his life to count. And he's going to receive this video, and he's partnered with me a couple of times and continues to he and his wife continue to faithfully pray for Alyssa and I as we reach students. And I told him, and I want to encourage you with the same thing, that as we're reaching students, you share in the same reward that we get to be a part of. You may not be going to the campus like I am or like Nick is, but because you're giving and because you're making it possible, you're forwarding the cause of the Great Commission. You're making it possible for me to preach the gospel, for students to respond. And for that, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that you're making it possible for me to walk out the calling that God has on my life to teach and preach the word. And so as we go forward in this crazy time, I'll send more videos hopefully soon, but I know that He's building up His church, and He's doing something that I'm really excited to see in the coming days. Jesus said this when He talked about His church. He said, I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And so He knew coronavirus was coming. He knew that all these different things were happening, that these things were going to be shaking and going on. But ultimately, we know the truth, that Jesus is building His church, and the gates of hell will not prevail, that His name is above every name. And until kingdom come, or until the heavens open up and Jesus comes back, we're going to keep reaching students for the gospel. We're going to keep being innovative, thinking of new and fun ways to spread the good news that Jesus is Lord, and that you can build your life on a foundation that will never be shaken. Thank you so much for making it possible.